This old guy DIY video has to do with troubleshooting 0171, 0174, and 0300 codes on a 2001 Chevy Suburban with 5.3 liter Vortec. So in February in Michigan, it was getting down to 9 and 10 degrees at night. And when I would go out in the morning to start the truck would stumble and sound like it was going to fail. And it didn't stall out, but it sounded like crap. So I was concerned about it, and then that particular time, the first week in February, I got a 0171, 0174, and 0300 codes for the first time in the career of this car. So I was concerned, but cleared the codes, went down to South Carolina, and spent a week in South Carolina. I did not have a single code. The truck started up great, and there were no issues. So when I got back, I went to the local shop, told him my story, and he said, "Oh yeah, it sounds to me like you have a fuel delivery issue." And I asked how that would make sense, that it works great when it's warm, but not when it's cold. And he said this deal is, over the years, you get water in your fuel filter, the canister that sits right under the driver's feet. And as that canister gets water in it, at night in Michigan, when it's below freezing, the stuff freezes. And basically you have the fuel trying to push itself past an ice cube, and it gurgles and gurgles, and eventually it starts going again. So there was no issue in the South. I said, "Hey, that sounds like a good theory. I'll go with that." He asked if I had ever changed the canister filter, because this thing had 175,000 miles on it. I told him no. When I replaced the fuel pump at about 100,000, I thought that the canister needed to be replaced, but when I look at it, I could tell I was going to break the lines, and I didn't want to get into that mess, so I did not replace it. So he said he would take care of the filter, and he suggested I do a tune-up. I asked him what a tune-up consists of, and he said on these vehicles, it's just new plugs and plug wires. So I bought the plugs and plug wires, I put those in. I took the vehicle back to him to have that fuel filter replaced. Oh, and one other thing, he checked the fuel pressure at the rail, and it was at 49 PSI. And he said the GM spec was 53 to 60. So I was not getting enough fuel. So that was encouraging. And he said he would do that job, and for 265 bucks he fixed it. Now I'll crawl under the truck and show you what it looks like. Now here's the inline canister filter beneath the driver's feet, and you can see there's a new line there. The side I'm showing you is towards the tank, and then he had to run it into a poly line, and they actually had to drop the fuel tank to run that poly line back to the tank itself, because that line was so corroded they couldn't take the fitting off and put it back together. And then on the other side that goes up towards the fuel rail, he was able to salvage it without replacing the thing. So after doing this job, my fuel pressure at the rail was 53, up from 49 PSI. And since that time, I have run about 7,000 miles. The truck now has 197,000 miles on it, and it's running like a stud horse in the spring. So based on what I saw online, I went and bought the intake manifold gasket replacement kit, and I'm prepared to do that. I thought that the 0171 and 0174 meant that I had an air leak at the intake manifold gasket, but so far this has solved my issue with dummy codes. So I still have the gaskets. It's an old truck. It served me well for 21 years, but if in fact I throw the codes again, the manifold gaskets are next to go. So I hope this video helps you, and I hope you have a great day.